everybody, Sabrina the Witch here. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about a life path number in numerology insights. I love numerology. I think it's easy for people to really understand more than saying astrology. It's just that astrology can be so mystifying to people. And it has literally taken me 5 years to get a good handle on looking at a chart and seeing what's going on. But numbers, I have found, has been the quickest, easiest way to get a handle on a person's personality, their life path number, you know, what's going on with them energetically, and how to look at it and understand it, and even, in some cases, realize I have to manage this. I have to manage this better. I have a life path number 5. I recently talked about me being a number 1. That is my birth date number. And my personality is that of a leader and an initiator. However, my life path number is a 5. And getting to that number 1 leader type of personality, I have gone through many changes. 5 is a number of change. One thing that used to bother me very, very deeply and caused me anguish was change. And anytime things would change in my life or we had to move, I was pretty much emotionally wrecked. And I had to learn, finally, as I became a teenager and I started hearing from people, change is a part of life. You cannot expect things to stay the same. If we're not changing, we're not growing. And eventually I heard the only thing that's constant in life is change. That is one of the biggest challenges that many people have, is dealing with change. So it took me some time to understand that. Now, the other aspect to the number 5 is that I have many different interests and many different abilities, many creative interests, and the ability to kind of jump in and learn and try out many different things. My parents were musicians, and I also was attracted to playing an instrument. So aside from learning first how to play the guitar, because that was the deal, after a year, then they would give me piano lessons. So I went on to play the piano. My father played the piano. And my mother was also musical. She was a singer. So they played music together. And I also had other interests because my grandmother was an artist. So I was interested in painting, but I didn't really want to draw. So my mother would get me all different kinds of colors, and I would paint things with all different kinds of colors, and she'd get me coloring books, and she nurtured that. I also got into dance, and she nurtured that as well. So I tried all different types of dance. I went from ballet to tap to jazz, and then twirling. Later I went into jazz. As a young adult. Later, as a young adult in my mid-20s, I got into ballroom dancing. So for me, it's been all about the arts, you know, being on stage, music, dressing up, performing arts. I love that very much. And I was in drama in high school and musical theater, and I was in drama as a young girl also. My mother would take me to a drama studio called the Carousel in Houston, Texas. And that was a very, very good drama school at that time. So then she would get me private lessons to learn how to sew. So then I learned how to sew. I had a neighbor who taught me how to do embroidery, needlepoint, and crochet. And just recently I have been led to pick up the yarn and the crochet needle again, and I have been hand crocheting a blanket. So it's a good outlet for me because 5 can have a lot of energy like a Gemini. And I do. I have a lot of creative energy. One of the problems, though, is that not only am I attracted to a lot of different things that I want to try and can maybe do, okay or good or very well, it's too many things. It's like having too many choices and having so many ideas that you have to narrow it down to just a few things. And it relates to my spiritual path as well. I've learned a variety of ways to work on this nature-based path, but I do primarily focus on about 3 of them. And they can be related to other things. But for the most part, it's an esoteric path that I am on. So with a number 5 person, they can also have jobs. They go from job to job to job to job to job. One reason is because they get bored. It's like, okay, I've learned that. I don't want to do this anymore. And along with me being a number 1 person, I didn't really like constantly being told what to do. It just bothered me. But I felt, life is an adventure, and this is a number of someone who can be adventurous. That I'm going to go on an adventure and I'm going to experience a lot of different things, a lot of different people out in the world, a lot of different types of jobs, a lot of different types of managers. And I think that if you're going to be a good leader as a number 1 person, I had to experience, and I did, good managers and bad managers, good supervisors and bad supervisors, good bosses and bad bosses, so that you can, see what didn't work and what did work. And then when I went to college, of course, I could talk about that and I could understand and apply it to the program I was in for business management. But I went off on my own, so I didn't want anybody else telling me how to do my skincare business. So that is the basic energetic definition, description of the number 5. Now it also has to do with travel. Someone could be, maybe they're what's called a military brat. I've had young people when I was growing up tell me we move a lot. I'm a military brat. We just move a lot, right? And so you could be born into a family that just moves a lot for whatever reason. And you have to learn how to manage. You say, oh, okay, that's all right. I might do it later on. Or I don't want to do that when I grow up. Or you yourself start moving a lot. I did that when I was younger. I'd live one place 6 months and I'd move. And I'd go to, and finally I started being told, you haven't really lived long enough in one place for us to rent to you this nice place, which is going to cost X amount of dollars a month. You've lived with a roommate, now you want to live alone in a larger space. You got to show that you've been able to have a residence for 1 or 2 years minimum. And so I had to change. I had to stop doing what I was doing and stay in one place for 2 years, and then I could go and apply to get whatever else I wanted with the space and the features that I was looking for. So there will be aspects in there that you'll have to realize about yourself, things that you might have to stop doing, and change in order to have more stability, at least appearing outwards to the world. And that goes along with establishing credit, getting a loan, getting a nice place to live. So those are some of the ways that this energy works with the number 5. And I do know who my God and my goddess is because they came to me in a dream. And that is one of the main reasons why I am so fond about numerology and providing a numerology report and giving you information about what god or goddess that you could work with that correlates to your energy, your number of your life path, where they can just help get what you really need when you work with them at your altar faster than probably any other deity or god or goddess that you would work with. So if you want to get your numerology report, just go to my Etsy shop on Astarte Apothecary, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day. See you soon.